In their early days, Metallica practiced in the garage of their first bassist, Ron McGovney, without realizing they were laying the foundation to become one of the biggest metal bands in history. And while McGovney was only part of the band for a short time, he played a crucial role in its beginnings. His time in Metallica was brief but filled with tension, unexpected decisions, and key moments. Ron was an old friend of James Hetfield. The two had played together in a cover band before Metallica even existed. When Lars Ulrich and Hetfield decided to start the band, James invited Ron to join, even though McGovney wasn't a professional bassist. However, his dedication and his home became the band's headquarters for their first rehearsals. In Ron's garage, Metallica began to find their sound. He didn't just provide the space, he also covered the initial expenses, putting everything on the line for the band's future. But things weren't always harmonious. One of the biggest conflicts that led to McGovney's departure revolved around his relationship with Metallica's then guitarist, Dave Mustaine. Mustaine was known for his impulsive behavior, and according to McGovney, he was often hostile toward him. One particularly serious incident occurred when Mustaine intentionally spilled beer all over McGovney's bass, damaging it. That moment was the breaking point in a series of tensions between them. McGovney saw it not just as a sign of disrespect toward his instrument, but as a clear message that he didn't belong in the band. On top of that, Mustaine and the other members were starting to embrace a lifestyle of excess, one that McGovney didn't share, and that clashed with his personal values. These ongoing conflicts, combined with the growing feeling that he wasn't essential to Metallica's future, led Ron to distance himself and ultimately leave the band for good. Even though Metallica was starting to gain recognition in Los Angeles, Ron felt like he wasn't on the same path as his bandmates. Unlike James and Lars, he didn't see Metallica as his destiny. While the band was diving deeper into the metal scene and embracing a more extreme lifestyle, McGovney began to feel more and more out of place. As Metallica recorded demos and started getting noticed, the internal tensions kept growing. And finally, in 1982, after multiple conflicts and irreconcilable differences, Ron made the decision to leave the band. His departure was a turning point. Ron McGovney left a spot that would soon be filled by Cliff Burton, not just a technically skilled bassist, but a musician who would completely change Metallica's trajectory. With Burton, the band shifted toward a more ambitious and technical sound, a crucial step in their growth and future success. Even though McGovney's time in Metallica was short, his contributions and influence are still recognized today. He played a key role in shaping the band's early days and helping them establish themselves in the LA metal scene. But he also realized that he didn't share the same level of commitment or the same lifestyle as Hetfield and Ulrich. Although he didn't continue in the music industry, he has spoken in multiple interviews about his time with Metallica, showing respect for everything the band achieved, even if he chose not to be part of that journey. One of the most interesting facts about Ron is that he remains friends with James Hetfield to this day, a bond that has lasted beyond their time in Metallica. And as a cool side note, some of the band's very first songs were recorded with him, securing his place in Metallica's history, despite his brief tenure. Ron McGovney's story is one of a musician who was in the right place at the right time, but ultimately realized that this dream wasn't his. His departure paved the way for a new era in Metallica, one that would lead them to conquer the world of heavy metal. However, his legacy lives on in those early garage rehearsals, in the demos he helped record, and in the foundation of one of the most important bands in rock history.